Crop Talk on Market Journal is supported by Nebraska's soybean farmers and their checkoff. Finally today, with a lot of corn in the ground across portions of Nebraska, producers should be turning their attention now to what comes next and any potential concerns when it comes to disease pressure. Nebraska Extension plant pathologist Tamra Jackson Ziems recently joined us to discuss just that. Joining us today on Crop Talk is Tamra Jackson Ziems, Nebraska Extension plant pathologist, the expert when it comes to any corn-related issues. We're excited to pick your brain about some of those today, Tamra. You know, the conditions for a lot of our central and eastern Nebraska viewers today might be ripe for corn seedling diseases. So we wanted to bring you on the broadcast, Tamra, to get some of your thoughts. So big picture, what could producers be seeing out in the fields here middle of May?
Well, we're so thankful for all the moisture that we've had. That's in contrast to what we've had the last couple of years. And so we do want to bring forward some of the potential problems that we're watching for right now because of that moisture, and especially for people that might be maybe planted well before that and still waiting on some of those corn seedlings to emerge. And so seedling disease or seed rots or blights are kind of on our mind right now to watch for in some of the fields, especially ones that might be at higher risk.
Yeah, you bring up some of those different diseases. Anything in particular as folks are going out in their fields scouting they should be watching for?
Yes, yes. And so if you planted before all this rain, or maybe you're waiting, I would watch some of those parts of the field, especially where you've had some ponding and a little water standing, which I imagine is a lot of fields right now. And there's a few diseases that are more common in those wet conditions, and especially diseases like Pythium. Well, and some Pythium species prefer cool conditions, some of them prefer warm conditions, but they always need wet conditions. That one would be one I'd be watching for right now. And we've also got fusarium and rhizoctonia. There's plenty of things that can go wrong in seedlings, but the way you would know something is wrong is if you're noticing that you have delayed emergence out there, things are slow coming up, or if you have gaps in stands where you have seedlings coming up, but you're not seeing them all come up, they're delayed. It might mean getting in there and maybe digging a little bit to where they should be coming up to take a closer look and finding out if you've got some what we would call pre-emergence damping off. Some of those seedlings may be under there starting to rot, and there's other problems too, not just diseases. You may have some insect issues that some of the entomologists can share about. In addition to gaps in the stand, sometimes you can have problems happen after they emerge. And so if you see any wilting or what we would call damping off, that is a common problem, a symptom of seedling diseases. Digging those up, you may find that the roots may be rotten or the seed itself may be rotten as well. And so there's a few things to watch for there. And so those are things that we want to watch for at this point moving forward.
Well, here's always the important question I almost always toss your way, Tamra. What can we do about it?
That's difficult right now. And so the good news is that all of our seed corn, except for very specialized situations where you may have organic or something, all of our seed corn is treated with two or three or four, sometimes more seed treatments. And they're usually a combination of a cocktail of different seed treatment fungicides, sometimes a nematicide as well, often an insecticide as well. And so the reason you have so many fungicides on there is because you're working against a lot of different types of fungi and fungal like organisms. And one seed treatment does not cover and protect you against all of them. And so you need a combination of things there to protect you against the gamut that we're talking about. And so you've already got protection. And you see that in the colorings that you see on there, and you've also got a tag on on those bags of seed that'll tell you exactly what you have on those seed. So you've got the seed treatments, but seed treatments don't last forever. Their lifespan's pretty short, and it depends on conditions. Wet conditions like we've had might actually mean that seed treatments don't last quite as long. You may only get 3 or 4 weeks of protection out of them, and normally that's plenty. But in some cases, they become overwhelmed, and so you may see some seedling diseases. And if you have a large percent of your stand has not emerged and you're considering replanting, um, often there's no need to consider an additional application on top of the seed treatments you've already got. By the time you replant, you may have warmer or drier conditions that'll help those seed emerge, germinate, and emerge quicker. And that'll help them get ahead of any of the potential damage that we're seeing currently.
Those are some great tips. Appreciate that, Tamara. Final word is yours. What else do you want to share on this front?
Well, sometimes seedling diseases can they may not be a problem except in the beginning, but actually there's things later in the season that you can see develop later, and so I'd watch those high risk fields, ones where you've had a history of them, and also if you're planting into rye or another cover crop, be aware that in research in other states they've seen an increase in seedling diseases, some of them anyway, if we plant directly into green rye and cover crops. So there may be some benefits of terminating the cover crop ahead of time, a week or 2 weeks ahead of time to give you a better head start ahead of that. So uh, I would just watch out, watch for more information from Nebraska Extension. Let us know if you're seeing something and utilize your plant and pest diagnostic clinic on East Campus if you have questions about what you're seeing.